Man, starting to dig backwards music. Woo! It's the Yeah Come On Show. I'm Southside Steve. That's my co-host, Brett Barney, and producing the show, Mr. Tyler Maynard. And today we've got a special guest, a guest that is going to talk about everything that's going on this week, Tiger, for sure. Why? Because this is somebody that works for NBC, iHeartRadio, GNN, and reports on golf. That's all the dude does. We'll have him on in just a minute. But before that, Brett, is there any housekeeping or anything we need to take care of other than our phone number and our video entries?
Okay, first off, we're just going to get right to it. We got the phone number. Text us, call us, leave a voicemail. Yes, we will use it on air. Do whatever you want. Say whatever you want. You know what? Love Southside, hate me. I don't care. I would actually love to hear you try to challenge my shit-talking ability. The number is 678-693-2269. Again, 678-693-2269. That's 6786. Yeah, boy. Come on. Yep. You know that.
Boy.
Or you can email us at yeahcomeonshow@gmail.com. Again, yeahcomeonshow@gmail.com. I do have to say this. Man, I screwed up last week. I screwed up big time.
Imagine that. What did you do? What have you done?
So let's talk about the role I'm on. I gave the wrong phone number for what, like 2-3 weeks?
Yeah, that hurt us a little bit. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, that's on me. That's on me. I'll take that one.
I told you to get the number. You got the number. You gave out the number, and you messed up the number for weeks.
Incorrectly. I do what I do. We did get a message from John Pack because last week I said, "Oh, Allie, it's great. You know, we have our first ever female radio show host on." And John Pack goes, man, I just want to give you a heads up. You've had a female radio personality on before. Southside Steve asked her if she was wearing a bra. And you know what? I knew immediately who he was talking about. He was talking about Kara Stockton.
I was. Yes.
If I can explain myself before.
Damn, Brett.
Come on, dude. Just let me explain myself. Kara and I have worked together for so long. I see her as like my sister, like my best friend. I don't think about her as a radio personality. I just don't. I'm sorry.
Well, that's even a bigger slam. You don't even think of the chick as a radio personality. Well, I just think you're my sister. I don't think about being good at this career or anything.
Damn, dude. That's mean. God, I hope she doesn't hear this.
Kara, she does not look at you as a radio personality. You're just a sister. That's it. And you're right. I couldn't remember, but she was on with other people, but she was on.
She came on by herself in studio.
Oh, that's right. She was in the studio. Oh my God.
I screwed it up.
And I don't think she was wearing a bra either, but that's fine. Well, thanks, Brett. I can tell you right now, based on that, shut up. It's time to talk to our guest. Dick. Our special guest tonight, Mr. John Clark. John Clark of iHeart. John Clark of GNN and NBC Radio. John Clark of NBC. You're a lot of things to a lot of people.
I am of a lot, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You're a lot. But one thing that you do, and you've been doing it since 2011, is covering the Masters, what I think is one of the greatest events outside of the Super Bowl there is to watch. And that has to be thrilling. So going in, Brett and I just want to thank you for being on the Yeah Come On show, as well as I'm sure our sponsors. I just want to get out oxygenfinancial.com, circle285.com, and Ridgeline Counseling, Dr. David Markwell, because you, sir, are a little bit of a classy guest, and you make me look good to my sponsors. You're a lot better than the trash Brett usually brings.
Well, we ain't done yet.
That's true. We'll see where it goes. So, right. Brett, I know we'll fire off questions for you. We want to make it entertaining. I'm going to keep it as clean as possible because you are a classy guy. There will be an occasional hell or damn. I'm not saying I won't say the word shit. It could happen. But just because it's a podcast, we don't have to F-bomb. Yeah. I want to treat you the way I would on the golf course. So let's talk about the golf course. First, leading story, the star for me of golf is Tiger Woods. I love Jack. I like, man, I'm trying to think who else I really like to watch. It really has
Phil Mickelson. Come on.
No, I can't. Phil's not my guy either, man.
No, Big Philly.
No, Payne Stewart. was a guy for me. I know. So I've one's retired, one's died, and the other one is hurting himself constantly.
Yes.
So let's talk Tiger. What do you know, and what do you think is going to happen as far as his career, John Clark?
I pretty much know just about everything everybody else knows. That the accident obviously occurred yesterday. He has heavily damaged, from what I understand, his right leg, his lower leg. He had surgery. It's full of pins and needles and everything they can put in there to hold it together. So the things I've heard, he's lucky to have the leg. He's lucky to be alive. So this is everybody says, well, will he play golf again? Right now we're not even looking at that right now. He has to basically get up and walk out of the hospital first, and that certainly is going to take a long recovery. He just had his 5th back surgery back in January. So that, a crash like that can't be good for your back too. So you wonder if that's got ramifications,
No, it's just crazy, all these surgeries he's had, and if you watch the Tiger, I won't call it a documentary. I'll call it it's a slam piece, but a lot of it is real. We learned a lot of things we needed to learn about Tiger. I personally, and I'll ask you, Brett and John, I don't really care about anything he does outside of golf because that's all I'm a part of. Now, do I hate it for his wife, his kids? Yes. But for me, I don't think that the Masters has any right to judge him or anybody has any right to judge him. This guy's playing the game. He's done stuff. Who's squeaky clean? Who's going to throw rocks?
Right.
But what he did was horrible, but it does not affect the way I feel about him. What do you guys think?
I'm the same way. It never affected the way I felt about him too. You heard stories of how, Tiger was hard to get along with. You read books on it. People have written books on it, Tiger then and Tiger now. And, you've heard bad stories about him, how he mistreated people. And from what I understand, many of those are true. He was tough to deal with at the time. His father was pretty tough to deal with as well, from what I understand. I don't know if that obviously had some influence on him. But I've never thought about that. He's the greatest of all time, as far as I'm concerned, on the golf course. He's had a great comeback. He's persevered. 2 years ago in 2019, he won the Masters after winning the PGA Tour Championship the previous fall. So it's one of the greatest comebacks in any sport, let alone golf. So I'm with you, Steve. That doesn't matter to me. I know he had issues with his wife and infidelities and all, but that was off the course, and I just look at what he does on the course, and we all have failed in some way, and he got caught up in it. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Well, and that's the other thing. What are you going to do? What do you think, Brett?
I think, well, first off, Tom Brady is the one that is squeaky clean. You never hear any off the field stuff outside of him mouth kissing his son. But in golf, you kind of do hear this stuff. Dustin Johnson and his disco donuts and falling down the stairs and possibly getting beaten up. Stuff happens. But like you said, Steve, you put it exactly right. I want to watch Tiger on Sunday at the Masters putting on the green jacket. That's just how I've kind of been raised. I was born in 89. So I was raised on Tiger, watching him come through. So to me, I don't care. Yes, I've made a mistake. Everybody has made a mistake. Don't throw rocks at glass houses.
Yeah, no, and I feel the same way too. And the Masters is the elite thing. It's funny how there's been times where I've covered it from the outside for radio, either because they weren't letting women in, or the KKK was there, or something stupid. There was some angle on the morning show I was on, especially on the regular guys on 96 Rock. I was out there like interviewing those jackasses, and I'm like, oh man. But as far as going in, I've only been in twice. I've had the opportunity about 7 times, but I've had to turn it down just due to conflict or having to work here in Atlanta. But the one time I went, the first time was 95. And Tiger was there, and he was an amateur, and he was out there, and he injured himself. And I forget what hole. I want to say he was on 13. But you see him, I was following him, watching him, and he gets escorted off and taken away in a brown van. And he hurt himself that day. And I was with my buddy, and it was a practice round. So he's like, I don't have to finish. I'm leaving. I'm hurt. And then he came back, obviously. But that's when I first heard of Tiger. I saw him, saw him in his first time at the Masters, so that's kind of cool. And then I went on a Friday in 2017, and that was pretty badass. And I put my chair at 18, and a lot of people don't realize when you stick your chair in the ground, it stays there. Nobody sits in it. You get to revisit that chair whenever you want. So that's the history of me in the Masters. But you have covered it, John. Now, when you're covering it, are you there? Do you have a headset on? Where are you positioned? What's that like?
It's a little of both. You cover it, but it's weird. It's weird. You don't spend a lot of time on the golf course. Somebody said, covering a golf tournament is sort of strange. The media just sits there and all looks at big TVs in a big media center and goes and eats all day. That's pretty much what you do, and it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. But you are able to go out on the course. The players come in and you can go to the press conferences. You can also go out to the oak tree behind the clubhouse and get close to them and one-on-one with them. It's changed a bit in the last couple of years because they have a new media center. Before, the media center, which is now basically where you buy all your Masters merchandise, it was right off of the number one fairway. So you could walk out of the media center, walk through some bushes, and you're right on the fairway. Now they've moved us over by the practice area, and you have to take a golf cart and do a short ride in a golf cart under a tunnel and around the bushes and everything to arrive, up at the like near number one. And really, you don't have a lot of time. Like I do reports hourly usually, and I have a deadline to meet. So I can really watch now from number 1, number 9, number 10, and number 18. So you're kind of limited now, although some media can get out there, and I go out there. Usually I get there on Wednesdays and go out all over the course and get a feel for it. But that's pretty much how the coverage of it works.
That's pretty sweet. And that's what you do. What do you do when you're not at the Masters?
When I'm not at the Masters, I work for iHeartRadio, and I do about 178 jobs. And I manage the Georgia News Network and also 4 other networks for iHeartRadio. And I produce and host three radio shows a week. So I stay pretty busy, doing the Masters. But you know what? I would pay them to let me do the Masters. And I can't be there in person this year because of very, very limited press. As Brett knows, last year too, we were in the same studios. Actually, I had to cover from there. And one problem with that is when you cover 40 Masters, you get your name on the wall in the media center. So that set me back 2 more years.
Oh,
so now I have to live well into my late 80s. And so I don't know if I can make it that long, but I got to hold on now. I got to take care of myself. At least I got 2 extra years. I got to hold on to this mortal coil,
Well, that is fantastic. And again, it's probably a good time to say thank you for coming on the Yeah Come On podcast, just because I do know how busy you are and I get it. And we all have early alarms. I have morning show to do, but I do not have the hectic schedule you do. And I got mad respect for you on that.
I appreciate you guys having me on. It's a pleasure doing this anytime you need me. Yeah.
No, hey, don't. All right, you said it. You're going to get called upon at times because God only knows what's going to happen in the golf world. You know how that goes. When watching Tiger and seeing everything that we saw, and you find out about his father, knowing that his father just kind of made him a prodigy. When you look at that coverage and you see him with Jimmy Stewart, Bob Hope on the Michael Douglas show that I remember as a kid because I'm in my mid-50s, and the kid's hitting a golf ball, man. Yeah. And he's on there with those celebrities, and then you look at it, and then you get the whole horrible story that gets shared that his father had an RV, and he's
can we go back? He was 2 years old.
Two, exactly. 2. Yeah, that puts him. And I got a 3-year-old, and I don't know if my 3-year-old, he might be able to do that. Might be able to hit the ball, but not like I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't have a prodigy on my hand, but I'm going to make him learn to play the game of golf. I live on a golf course. He's going to learn.
Yeah.
But when you find out about all the little cheating and the misbehaviors and the lack of respect, if Tiger's mom, she seems a little gritty to me anyway, a little rough, but there had to be some love in there to where it had to break his heart knowing what his father was doing, behind her back. Then he does the exact same thing. And my question to you on this is, I thought, and I've always said on the radio, I thought Tiger was a guy that just didn't ever get out, had very little female contact. He's driven to play golf. It works unbelievably. It works. The guy is a prodigy.
Yeah.
And he's out there. And then finally, maybe he dated a little. We learn now he had a girlfriend. But then he meets his wife. So he settles down. Is that the third person he's ever had sex with? And then he's having kids, and you're billionaire status, and you got yachts, and you got everything, and you're going to Vegas, and girls are throwing it at you. And I just thought maybe his upbringing and seeing what his father did, this was coming his way.
Yeah,
no way.
I agree. I mean, he's so insulated, and he got so rich, so young, so fast. He had his father, Earl Woods, he did drive him and help his career. But I understand things I've read and other, golf reporters I've talked to, he wasn't the nicest guy in the world. And it was kind of hard to get along. So that had to rub off on him too. And I think it made Tiger a different type of person. Now he's very much, you can tell in interviews he gives now, he's much more lighthearted. He doesn't come back at you, with some, smart ass reply or something like that.
Right.
He's he's much more humble and willing to talk now. So he's a different Tiger. And then you get this, you have a comeback, and then something like this happens. So, he just can't seem to get traction right now,
I know it's like he takes a step forward, he takes 2 steps back. And what we saw was so wonderful here at Eastlake and then the Masters. Yeah. It happened in Georgia. His comeback was in Georgia. 2 great wins. Yeah. Both times. Were you at Eastlake by chance when that happened?
Yeah, I was at Eastlake when he did that, and that was remarkable. I was at the Masters when he won. I wasn't on the course to see it. Like at Eastlake, I was not there that day either. As a matter of fact, I missed both times, but I was there during those tournaments. And at Eastlake, the crowd is always with Tiger. You can always tell where Tiger is on the course because the crowd roars and follows him. It was 15, 16 people deep. You couldn't even see him. That was one of the greatest moments on a golf course that I've ever experienced. And just it was just palpable, the excitement on there. It was really something to see.
Yeah, when you see, and Brett, I know you watched it too. Have you played Eastlake yourself?
I have not. No.
I've played it. I was lucky enough to do that, and my brother-in-law's father's a member, so it helps.
Okay. I'm sitting about, I don't know, we'll say 200 yards from Eastlake right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's
okay.
Unbelievable.
Right there.
Right there.
Behind this wall, about 3-4 houses.
Yeah.
Brett, could you take your equipment and go out on Eastlake while we do this podcast, and let's see it. Let's see what the course looks like at night.
That would have been a great background,
It would have been.
Yeah.
Cut a hole in that wall. We need a bigger mirror, but no, that's cool as hell.
The bedroom's right there where she is.
You definitely cut a hole in the wall. I want to see her and Eastlake.
Yeah,
I'll take a picture, and we'll just put it in at this part right here.
Yeah.
No, but I like it. But when you saw what was happening, and it's so funny when I played Eastlake, I got to share this because it's a good story and it's the honest to God's truth. I had not hit a golf ball in about 6 months, and I went out there, and there was no time to hit balls. I was there for a wedding at the time, my brother-in-law's wedding. He's marrying my sister-in-law, my wife's sister. So we're all playing golf, and of course I'm like, all right, I'm ready. I'm here. Can I hit a bucket of anything? And they're like, no, you got to play. Well, I believe in counting every stroke. On number 1, I don't know how I got my drive out, but I did. My next shot lands in the trap, and then I go trap to trap to trap, and then I skull it about 30 yards out and have to chip back on the green. I took a 9 on number 1, and I'm like, I'm on Eastlake. Now's not the time.
I would probably take a 9 and be done with it. I'd be fine.
Yeah. So then I go to play. Well, I finish up. I'm a 56 or 58 on the front. And I'm like, son of a bitch. And I'm looking, you got a caddy right there. My caddy's talking to me, and he's a fan of my morning show. Goes, dude, you gotta loosen up, man. He goes, you gotta get your mojo. He goes, I suggest liquor. So I do a shot inside, and then I get two Jack and Cokes, and I kill one, I'm sipping the other, and I buy a cigar. I tee off on 10, I par it. I tee off on 11, I birdie it. Then I birdie 12. Then I par 13. And then I get a bogey on 15. So I am 1 under going into 16 on the back. And I'm talking trash. I'm like, what's up? Who wants some of this? I mean, I'm smoking my cigar. I'm puffing. I'm like, oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Always listen to the caddy.
Yeah. And the caddy's laughing and we're having a blast. But yeah, I end up shooting like a 41, because I got ate up on the par 3 in the water.
Oh, man.
But no, I got a 41. So, I get around right at, just under 100 and I'm like, damn it. But it was such a sweet course, but coming up on 18, what we saw was so unbelievable when everybody came on the course. You couldn't stop them. Authorities couldn't stop them. All you could do was protect Tiger. I don't think any of us have ever seen that on a golf course like that.
It was a phenomenal. And, and two, at the time when he won the Masters, I was in the media center and I'd been out to 18 earlier, but I was in the media center. You never hear when somebody wins, you never hear the media center at the Masters, do an uproar. The whole place cheered. I mean, it just, went very atypical of a media center at Augusta National. Everybody just cheered. I'd never seen anything like that. It was amazing.
Yeah, because people don't realize when you're in the media and you get put in this situation regardless. I used to cover Hawks games. I was the voice of the Silverbacks, which I could be happy about that. I did that for 7 years. But anytime I ever covered sporting events, or was in the box, like even for the Falcon games, you're not allowed to show any emotion. People don't realize zero emotion. You were in there. You're blessed to be in there. You're covering it. And that had to be a little unprofessional, I guess, but it deservedly so.
Yeah, covering politics is kind of tough too. I've had a couple of times where I've really had to hang in there, but
never done that. Can't even imagine.
Yeah, oh man, you sit there and you're just like, if I can only say what I want to say. So
God bless you. God bless you, my son.
Yeah.
You told me enough to know that I love you. That's all. I now know how you vote. I will drive you to the polls if you ever can't get there. I will make sure you get there. And I'm not going to mail the crap in because I'm going to the polls.
Yeah, I'm not the fake media. I'll tell you that.
No, damn right you're not, and I dig that. Damn, John Clark, you got a place on the Yeah Come On show.
I can vouch for him. I did election night this past year with him.
Yeah.
Did you? How did that go?
Yeah. Undecided.
Yeah, undecided. I mean, my team didn't really win a whole lot this year.
No.
But hey, there's always next year. There's always next time we'll get them,
Dude, I hope so. I hope to God so. I tell you what, you can't talk politics and radio, but there's mornings where I'm watching and I'm just like, oh my God. I make the mistake in the morning of watching Fox News and then I'm supposed to go on the radio. I'm like, not in a good mood. Not in a good mood. Got to get past it. Get past it.
Crazy doesn't describe it. It's just it's surreal and unreal too. So
unreal and unprecedented. It's as crazy as Tiger's comeback. That's the question: is can he do it again? Obviously. Now let's just go there for a second. Since I know the game as a fan. You know it from a fan, but also working it. Right. Who takes Tiger's place? Is there anyone that steps in if this is it for Tiger, which I hope it's not? Yeah. Who do you like? Who's a good guy? Who's got a game that can take it to any kind of level like Jack and Tiger?
I don't see anybody. I mean, I see some that come close. I mean, you hear people go, well, Jordan Spieth's going to be, but he's had a terrible year. He's almost won twice this year, but he's had a tough time. Justin Thomas is certainly, JT is doing well.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Ricky Fowler's the most popular golfer who hasn't won as much. He hasn't won a major. He's wildly popular, but nobody's going to take it to a Tiger level because in order to do that, you have to just blow everybody away and wins, which he's done. And I don't know. I hope there is one out there because golf needs it, especially golf's going to need it more than ever now if Tiger can't go. And then you look, there's so many factors. You look ahead, he's 45. You look 5 years away from it now. Is he going to play the Champions Tour? Hopefully he'll be well. Right now, there's so much up in the air. If he gets back on the tour, then I think he can play the Champions Tour and just blow them away on there too. I don't know that there is somebody, right now. There are a lot of, but I don't want to take away. There's some great young golfers. Look at Dustin Johnson. He's been, history.
I think you're missing a big one.
Who's that?
I think you're missing Bryson DeChambeau. I don't think that
almost
he's a
mentioned
big fan
DeChambeau.
favorite, but Tiger changed the game, and Bryson's kind of doing the same thing right now,
Yeah.
hitting the ball. It doesn't matter. You could say, I'm going to go this way and then come back to the green, and he's going, no, I'm going to go over all these trees and figure it out and hit the ball a country mile, and we'll just see what happens. And he's just kind of doing his thing.
He bulked up. He gained 25 pounds. I gained 25 pounds during COVID, and it didn't do me any good. But he gained 25 pounds. I wish I could do that and play half as good. Yeah, Brett, you're right. DeChambeau is somebody who's very unique and could do. John Rahm was talked about early on as being someone who could maybe be the next Tiger. But it's going to take someone. Phil Mickelson had his shot. He's been very good. He's starting to slack off a lot because he's playing on the Champions Tour. So he's got a great following. Even people outside. Heck, my mother knows who Phil Mickelson is. And
right.
So everybody knows Phil. I will say this too. There is precedent for the situation with Tiger, and that's the story of Ben Hogan. Ben Hogan, golf legend, back in 1949 was in a horrible car accident. Went head on with a Greyhound bus and almost died from it. He and his wife were together, and he had an unbelievable comeback from that. He went on to win, I believe, like 6 more majors after he came back. But the rest of his life, he lived in constant pain, and he would be in pain on the golf course. He also smoked while he played too. It's back in the day you could do that. But that's everybody. You'll hear people talking about the Hogan comeback. So we'll see. Can Tiger make that Hogan comeback? It'd be amazing if he came back and won 6 more majors. That'd be awesome.
It would, and then he surpasses Jack, and he is the greatest golfer of all time, undeniably. I mean, that's all he's ever focused on, cared about. There's no doubt that pain, messed him up. We've learned. I did not know about the Navy SEAL stuff until I watched these Tiger 1 and Tiger 2. Again, I keep trying to call them documentaries. I don't know what do you call them other than
I haven't seen those.
You got to watch it, bro. You got to watch.
I know
a lot
about
of the
Navy
coverage.
SEAL, stuff and his obsession with the Navy SEALs, but I haven't seen those. I've had several people tell me about them. I said I have to watch them.
Well, it's crazy because they talk and they're like, "Don't shoot him in the hands. Don't shoot him in the face." This is Tiger Woods. Don't be the guy that screws up one of the greatest golfers. But at one point, Steve, his caddy, talks about Tiger saying he wants to leave golf and maybe become a Navy SEAL. And he's like, what? It had a lot to do with what his father did as a Green Beret. And, he wants to do that. And that training, Steve even said he damaged his body so badly that a lot of this stuff was coming, but Tiger would have won more majors had he not done the Navy SEAL stuff. And he said the guy kept getting kicked in the same knee. And that's the knee that he wins the Open with, and he's got a broken leg in 2008, and you're like, the guy's in pain. But Tiger did say one thing about pain, and I think the way he compartmentalizes stuff, he said, pain's just pain. He goes, I'll hit the ball pure. I won't think about pain until after I've struck the ball. And if he can do that, he may grimace, but that guy might be out and be our Tiger all over again. And I know the doctors were nervous as shit. I mean, I'm working on Tiger. It's like, don't make a mistake.
Right. But he and you bring up a good point. He can compartmentalize like none of us can. So if anybody can come back from this, he's got the drive to do it. Tiger Woods can. One of us may go, I'm done, man. I can't do this anymore. And but Tiger might. He's tough. He really is. I'm not ready to count him out just yet.
No, I'm not either. But you look at sports in general, and right now, football, thank God, is exciting. I need to get back into baseball. I've had my moments with baseball. I've had my moments with basketball, where I was into basketball, college and pro.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm not into baseball. I'm not into basketball. I love football, but it's gone. I got months and months to wait. And then you look at NASCAR, and I remember my time, with NASCAR, and there's nobody. There's no Junior. There's no Dale. There's no Dale Jarrett. There's no characters out there. Yeah. It's just a bunch of young kids and people that don't have great personalities running. So sports is really taking a hit. And now golf will do the same, in my opinion, if Tiger doesn't come back.
Yeah, I think so. I'm like you. Golf and football are it for me. I can't get into
NASCAR.
even football is different. It's not like it used to be. I've been a lifelong Falcon fan, and I almost liked it back in the day when the Falcons were just absolutely unbearable. I almost enjoyed watching that more than now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just the whole thing has changed. But yeah, golf is it. Golf and football, and golf without Tiger is going to lose a lot of people and a lot of fans. It's not going to be the same. So that day's bound to come, but let's not have it just yet.
Not yet. If there's, God, get him back out there. I don't care.
Yeah.
Get him back out there. Brett, do you have any questions for Mr. John Clark? And if you've watched the Yet Come On show ever, this entertains me because I never know. He doesn't share his questions with me. And I've been made to feel uncomfortable, which I don't usually feel more than a few times. So Brett Barney, co-host of the Yet Come On show, John Clark is raw meat. Have it.
Come on.
I think John can handle this. He's dealt with me before. Okay, first off, we've missed discussing Brooks Koepka, who is absolutely huge with the younger crowd, including myself. I'm going to put myself in the younger crowd despite being like 32 here shortly. But I have to ask you, both of you guys, this question, and I'll have my answer as well. First off, I want to test everyone's credibility when it comes to Augusta National. Your go-to sandwich is what?
I think you asked John. What?
Great. Everybody says pimento cheese. That's what they do. But my go-to when I go there is the barbecue sandwiches. I eat like 1,000 of them during that.
I've had both, but I like the pimento cheese. Yeah. And I know, I'll go there. And I hated pimento cheese as a kid. I didn't even know what that was when my father was eating it. It just looked nasty. And I never ever tried it, and he never pushed it on me, but I like it.
So you lose all credibility, Southside, because John is 100% right. The barbecue sandwich is amazing.
It's tops. But
don't they have a
they used
chicken?
to be larger. Now they're like that big around, like a crystal now. You can eat them in like one bite. But they're still good. Oh, they're still good. Yeah.
I've had them. I mean, I'm no stranger. I eat when I'm out there. It's an all-day affair, and I have a lemonade when I'm out there too.
Okay, yeah.
Have you ever eaten the grass on the course?
No, but I've taken it in my pocket.
No, I've never done it. The grass up around the clubhouse, going number one, the historic scoreboard. Every time when you walk by there, after about 3 or 4 days, it smells like a sewer. Because people are walking all in there and it's all muddy and nasty, especially when it rains. Oh man, they put these green, they fill the divots on the course with green sand. And so they put that green sand in there. Oh, it's a little rough around there. But no, I've never been tempted to eat the grass there. So to answer the question.
Isn't that funny that they do that, obviously just for the television coverage so you can't see the divots?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it, because green sand is okay, fine. I've been up to the scoreboard. Why are you asking whether anybody's eaten the grass? Is it because that is like heaven?
No, I ate the grass.
Why?
Because my buddy told me to.
All right, well, you're drunk.
No, I wasn't drunk. He said.
Now you're stupid.
I've never heard of that.
No, my buddy that has tickets every year. The 1 year he took me, he said the initiation to be able to come back, you have to eat some of the grass. And we were at Amen Corner, and I reached out underneath the ropes to where the people couldn't stand, pulled a few pieces, and I ate the grass, and it was delightful.
Oh, okay. Well,
I took grass in my pocket, like I said, and I came home to my roommates. I go, check it out, man. It's the Masters.
I know. Well, you picked the right place. Amen Corner, if you're going to eat grass at Augusta National, that's the place to do it.
There you go.
That's exactly what I did. John, have you ever won the media lottery? And if people don't know what that is, can you explain it?
I never have. I put my name in there. You write it on there, and I never have. And I'm a terrible golfer. I'm absolutely awful. I still play a lot, and I was afraid. I'm like, what if I win the lottery? But I've had so many members of the media go, are you kidding? There are people out there who've won the lottery who literally have never swung a golf club, and they play too. I said, well, in that case, I could get through a few holes. But, I've never won it. And once you win it, you can't be in it again for 7 years. So
what do you win exactly? Is it a round of golf out there for free?
Yeah. On Monday morning, I don't know how many members, I don't know how many they pick. I can't remember. But on Monday morning, they pick it on Sunday, and they announce it. And you put your name in, and they'll pick you, and you get to go play around on Monday morning. And
Wow.
I'm assuming with caddies and the whole 9 yards.
Mm.
The year before, actually, I never take my clubs. Last year, I threw my clubs in the back just in case,
So can you sell it to a friend or give it to a friend if you
no,
don't
because it
want
has
it?
to be, it's the next morning. So no, you can't. You can't.
No,
Yeah.
like another media person, like go to
Oh,
media
really?
person.
No, I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't chance it. They don't play.
No, they
So
don't. You
no.
commit a sin out there, you
Yeah,
are cut for life.
you're done. You're done.
Done.
Yeah.
Speaking of sins at Augusta National or at the Masters, have you ever committed any of the sins? I know that you look online and it's like, you can't say these words if you're reporting on the Masters.
No, the only thing I did was a couple years ago in the new media center, I took a couple pictures, and the security guard came over and said, "You're not supposed to take pictures." I said, "Oh, I had no idea." He goes, "No, it's cool. Just letting you know." That's the only thing I've ever done. But I think the first time I covered a Masters years ago was in the old media center, and I'm sitting at the very top, and I heard my name called over the loudspeaker. John Clark, please come to the front desk. And I'm thinking, oh my God. Oh no, what did I do? What did I do? And I get down there and I said, I'm John Clark. You just called me. And the lady looks at something. She goes, oh, I'm sorry. We looked at the wrong line. It was James Clark we're looking for. I'm like, oh, good. So I don't know
Thank
what
God.
James Clark did, but I went back to my seat and just didn't say anything. That's about
awesome.
it for me. So.
How many different golf tournaments have you covered? Is it just the Masters and the Tour Championship, or have you covered others?
I've done the Players. I've done the U.S. Open when it was at Pinehurst. I've done 2 PGA
Nice.
Championships, and I went to the Heritage, but I didn't cover it. I've done that. So the British Open is the only thing I haven't covered. That's on my bucket list, is to go. I don't think iHeart's going to pay to send me to that one though. So, but that's okay. That's on my bucket list. And a friend of mine and I were thinking of going a couple of years ago. Something came up, we never did. But that's definitely on my bucket list to go over to the British sometime.
Definitely do the St. Andrews. I've been there.
Oh, really?
When I went over, it was in '87, and I went there, saw it. It was very cool. I was like, man, I didn't play it, but got to get in the clubhouse due to an amateur who was a cousin of a friend and blah blah. But we got to get in there, and I was like, hell yes, take me there.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I know somebody who is a golf historian and has a condo overlooking it.
Oh, damn.
I'm not as close with him. I know somebody who's very close with him. So if I go over there, I may try to pull some strings.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I know you were talking about Tiger possibly one day playing on the Champions Tour. We don't even know if he'll ever play again, but if he doesn't play or, on the old man's tour, do you think at the very least we would see him every year playing the par 3 competition?
That's a good question. Yeah.
I would think so.
I would too. If he could get well enough to do that. Yeah, I can see him doing that. I could always see him having a real hand in Augusta National, given his stature and everything, no matter what. I would see him doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I made $100 bet today that Tiger wins another Master, or not a Masters, but another major.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Yeah. He's got to come back. He just
he's got to come
has to.
Yeah, it's not. It may not be. I don't know. It may not. It's not going to be in 2021. Maybe 2022. We just still don't really know.
The leg damage.
Yeah, we don't really know about all the leg damage. No, I don't know. It may be worse than we think. Maybe not quite as bad as we think. So, fortunately, it doesn't seem like, he was anything else was injured. I mean, it could have been a lot worse, a head injury or internal injuries or something. So it sounds like he escaped that pretty much. But that's probably threw his back out pretty bad too.
Yeah, that's what I keep thinking about, the back. I know the surgeon was like, damn, I'm going to have to do that again.
I know. So, yeah.
So there was a lot of speculation over the past couple of days prior to the accident on Instagram. If you follow a lot of golf accounts like I do, it's either Golf Friends or OnlyFans. I mean, that's all I follow. But people were saying that Tiger looks like he's eating edibles. They would put like a picture of Tiger in like 95 or, 2000. And then now, and it's like, man, he looks like he's so stoned. And this was my whole speculation when I heard about the accident yesterday was he was probably high on painkillers.
I wondered the same thing too, but they've cleared him. No charges are filed, but I wondered that same thing too. He almost ran into somebody in the parking lot coming out of the resort where he was staying. That's
Ooh, I haven't heard that. That's good.
Yeah, a director of a show. I don't remember the show, but he was a director, and he and the staff were staying there, and he apparently came in and go, "You'll never believe Tiger Woods just almost ran over me in the parking lot, almost hit me in the parking lot." His car, and so apparently he tore out of there and almost hit this guy, and then he goes on down the road and actually does hit something. So
well, he was running late. We know that.
Yeah.
He's going to be playing golf with Drew Brees and I forget the other quarterback.
Yeah.
But so he's running late. So he is that type of guy. I don't even know how often. I guess Tiger drives himself. I know he doesn't have to if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, they say.
But
yeah.
Yeah. So but we hear he's gotten we all seen the coverage, the DUI. We know he goes to the club and he's got all these pop tires, and then he's not paying attention when Elon's coming after him and he hits something. So he's hit stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know how good of a driver is, or if you're right, Brett, maybe if he just had pain pills for the back, I don't think that's enough to make him do what he did. It's almost like he was distracted, either reaching for the phone, calling late, or just driving too fast to just not, couldn't handle the vehicle.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He was just driving too fast. And for everybody, I'm not familiar with the area at all, but and listening to, it seems like everybody on PGA Tour Radio and Sirius knows where this is. Oh, I grew up there, one guy. So I went to high school. And they say it's just a really, really dangerous road, and it's kind of deceiving and one that you don't want to speed on. So
there you go.
I get a driver. Hey, if Uber, anybody, get a driver. I bet he will from now on.
Oh yeah, hell yes, I would have a driver.
Yeah.
Okay, the last question that I had was I wanted each of you guys, and I'll do mine first, to share your best Tiger story. My best Tiger story is 2011 PGA Championship at Atlanta Athletic Club. My girlfriend at the time was working the event, so she got free tickets, and it was like the Wednesday round and the Saturday round. She's like, "Well, I have to work, so you can just have them." So I went by myself, got to meet Tom Rinaldi because I was following Tiger, and they were at the par 3, maybe like 5 or 6. I don't know what hole it is. And he hits his ball off, and it goes down by the sand trap off to the right, and it's elevated green. And he's looking at it like, okay, how would I chip from here? What would I do? Drops a couple balls like he's going to hit him. Pulls a club out of his bag, and this guy leans over the rope to Tiger, goes, "Tiger, I'm a member here. You don't want to use that club." And he looks at the guy. "I'm Tiger Woods." Boom, about sinks the damn shot right there. And then he changes clubs and hits the rest, but he just had to prove him wrong. Like, excuse me? Who are you?
Yeah.
I'm Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
But when I was like 5 feet from him, I mean, I could have touched him.
Yeah.
Like, he was right here next to me. I was standing right up against the rope.
That's awesome. I've never been that close to him.
No, I've been close to him, but never to talk to him or anything. I just usually hold the mic up and let all the other reporters ask him the questions. So that's about it. I just sit there. So
yeah, my story. I don't want to trump you guys, but my wife, Tiger, I'm pretty sure he's attacked himself to my wife, masturbated. I'm just going to say it. Here's why. Because my in-laws have 3 pictures of my wife and her 2 sisters. The one of my wife is insane. Tiger rents my in-laws home when he's playing here in Atlanta. They got it. They listed it. I was never really supposed to tell anybody, but Tiger stayed in their home. And this would have been just before I started dating her. So it would have been like 2012, 13, somewhere in there.
It would have been 2011 when I was at the tournament.
No, it was 2000. It was 2011 because I started dating my wife in 2012.
I was at that tournament.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Tiger, while he was at that tournament, he did not make the cut, as you guys know, and he stayed at my in-laws' house for 5 days, and he signed pictures for them. They had a few requests. He didn't do them all, but they did ask for this to be signed, that to be signed, a couple of things they left. And there's actually a couple of things that they asked that he didn't do for whatever reason. I don't know, but they spent about, I don't know, probably about $2,000 getting the sheets and everything. And he stayed in the master. And there's a picture of my wife right in front of him, especially what we know about Tiger now.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Right.
I think he got in the swimming pool, the hot tub, but when he left all the food, and he needed 5 rooms for the people that were staying with him, trainers, whoever was there, but he had a private chef, and they left everything. And my in-laws said they came in and they could not believe the food, the amount of food and the quality of the food. So he definitely takes care of himself, but they left early because he didn't make the cut. So that's my Tiger story.
I saw him at that tournament too, Brett, at the PGA Championship at Atlanta Athletic Club, and you were so well. I'm not as you got me beat on the East Lake, but I'm about 3 miles from there now.
Nice.
So you got me beat on. I'm in Johns Creek, but you got me beat on the but so that had to be.
Where do you live in? Well, I don't want to know exactly, but my in-laws live right across the street from Country Club of the South. That's where my wife and I were married.
Yeah, I'm very close to there. Yeah, I'm just north of there a little bit. Yeah.
Or off of Alabama.
Yeah,
that's a wonderful area. So it was perfect for Tiger. It was in a cul-de-sac. Nobody knew. It's so trippy because they couldn't say anything. They knew it was Tiger 3 days before. They knew a golfer was going to stay there, and I got to tell you, Tiger paid for their house $12,500 for the week.
Wow, I know a guy. He's a friend of my dad's in Augusta. And he rents his house out in Augusta every year for his house is at the Augusta Country Club, and he rents it out every year. And he and his wife go on vacation to use that money to go on vacation. And it's a funny story.
Great.
This guy had a house in Augusta and it burned down years ago. And his brother-in-law was apparently this really wealthy doctor. And there was a piece of property next to the brother-in-law. And the brother-in-law says, "Why don't you buy that property and build a house?" So he's like, or the house was there. So he says, I can't possibly afford to live there. Are you kidding me? Live next? Are you kidding? There's no way I can do. And so his brother-in-law goes, "I'll tell you what, don't worry about it. We'll take the we'll take the money out of petty cash in the office and pay your mortgage every month. You just pay whatever you were paying for your old house. I'll round out the rest." So now he lives in this huge mansion.
Damn.
Augusta Country Club and rents it out every year. So
God bless him.
Like that, right?
Oh, I would kill to have a brother-in-law. I mean, I think I've got one like that. I hope he includes me in some of this stuff.
Yeah.
But the country club there is so great because it backs up it's right next to the Masters. And I went there and we stayed in the hotel that's right there at the country club. They have a hotel, and stayed there, and I was able to drink at the country club. And man, I tell you, there's a lot of dudes not wearing socks there, and there's a lot of women with not the face they should have. I'm like, plastic surgery everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Which is cool. Yeah. But I got to tell you, John, it's been great. Is there anything on the Yeah Come On show that we can help you with for any listeners, or how can people find you, your social media, or what are you up to next, or anything you want to mention?
No, I personally am not on social media. Don't have time, but on Georgia News Network we are at GA News Network. No, I do a couple of radio shows a week. I do a show called Georgia Focus. It's on the iHeart app, and if you want to hear that, sometimes it's exciting, sometimes it's not, and we do a lot of charities. It's public affairs, do charities and things like that on there. But occasionally, I get a really cool guest on there. So I do that. It's on the iHeart app. And that's about it. But hey, anytime you want to have me on to talk about anything, don't hesitate. I'm always happy to do it.
Well, one thing I love about you is everything Georgia. That's me too. I was born here. My parents were born here. We've got history. My father, was at the Atlanta Magazine as an art director in the late 60s, early 70s. And, everything has been like, I'm a West End kid downtown, but just Georgia as a whole, I'm everything Georgia. I never left, never lived anywhere else. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I left for a while and came back, and I've been here 21 years now. And I'm sort of a West Ender too, only I'm from Southwest Georgia. So
okay, that's fun. Hey, dude, I caught the accent a little bit. As far south as I got was Fayetteville. Whereabouts You like down by, you talking Cairo? I mean, where are you
Yeah,
from?
Albany. I'm from a town called Dawson, Georgia, near Albany, Georgia. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Dawson.
I
Are
was
you talking
down
about
there
awesome,
yesterday. Yeah, I was down there.
Awesomeville, Dawsonville?
No, the other
that's
direction, down in
Dawsonville.
South Georgia. He's from
I-
Dawsonville. I get that all the time. I'm from Dawson. Cut off the Ville. We aren't cool enough to have a Ville.
You're just Dawson.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. I don't know where Dawson is, which means I don't know my state as well as I should. I'll look it up.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a garden spot. So
Yeah. Well, but on behalf of our sponsors, Oxygen Financial, Circle285.com. Circle 285, what do you do when you do Circle 285? You're driving. It's about insurance in your car and your home. Get a free quote. I changed my insurance. I left somebody I'd been with for 17 years. Fantastic deals. And also Ridgeline Counseling, Dr. David Markwell. He is a psychiatrist for the Yeah Come On show, as well as Bailey and Southside. So he's a solid dude, and he's got 2 locations. So look him up, Ridgeline Counseling, if you need help. John Clark of NBC, of GNN, of iHeartRadio, you are the man, and it was an absolute pleasure to talk to you, sir.
This was a lot of fun. You guys, anything I can do for you, let me know, and happy to come on and fill time anytime if you need somebody.
You got it, man. Take care.